Hey Nathaniel, I wanted to give this video specifically to you just so you can understand the gift that I gave you. You want to join the military, and whenever I joined the military, that was a last-ditch option for everybody. Everybody would join the military because they ran out of other things to do. They would try to get a job somewhere somewhere else, and if they couldn't get a job somewhere else, then they would go join the military. It was the last thing that they did. They tried not to. But you really want to join the military, and today it's a lot harder. I knew somebody who was joining the Marines whenever I was leaving the Navy, and he was in good shape and everything, and he got put on a 6-month wait. So it's hard nowadays to join the military. It's way harder than it ever has been. So I wanted to give you stuff so that you can be successful in the military. You want to be Special Forces, and Special Forces is hard. In fact, it's the hardest thing that you can do in the military. But I wanted to give you something so that you can go ahead and join Special Forces and do Special Forces and do everything that you want with this. So, I'm giving you 10-minute trainer. I gave Mom and Frank 10-minute trainer. I gave Carrie 10-minute trainer, and I gave Dennis 10-minute trainer. But I'm giving you 10-minute trainer because it's just one long line of things that you'll have to do in order to become ready to be in the military. There's 3 major things that you can do to be ready to go into the military. You can join CrossFit, which is a gym that you can find around the world. That's a really popular method. You can try to do a bunch of different military programs, but half of those aren't even written for military members, by military members. It's just not going to get you in Special Forces shape. CrossFit is really expensive. Unless you have $75 a month, I don't think that you're going to be able to get in. I mean, if you have an ROTC program at school or an NROTC program at school, then that's all fine and good, and I recommend that you join those. But you're going to be out of luck. So this is the only real way that you can prepare for the military right now. Like I said, there's a lot of people that want to get into the military. It's a pretty popular position right now, and I think it's going to stay popular for a while. So whenever you get there, you're going to have to be really, really, really good so that you can get in. And if you want to be Special Forces, you're going to have to be really, really, really in shape to get in there. So I'm giving you a 10-minute trainer. It's just the same as I told you whenever we had our talk, whenever I was driving you back to the mall to meet my mom, to meet Mom. Whenever it comes to being in shape, whenever it comes to getting into the military, you have to get in really, really, really good shape in order to go through everything. Most people drop out of Special Forces, most people drop out of the military, not because it's just too hard, it's because they weren't in shape, they weren't fit enough, they weren't healthy enough. So they get dropped out because of that. They get injured or something like that. The first hurdle is boot camp. You had to get through boot camp first, and it's hard and it's stressful and everything, but I think that you're going to be able to deal with it. I know that Frank has said that you have started making straight A's and everything, so I think you're going to be able to get through it just fine. But the second hurdle is getting in shape and not getting injured. In order to get in shape so that you don't get injured, you have to work all your muscles. You can't just do push-ups. That works your chest. You also have to work your back, and not just with pull-ups. You can't just work your abs. You have to work your lower back too. You know, there's a reason that there's personal trainers out there, and they have big, huge degrees to do what they do and everything. Is because it's hard to keep everything balanced. You know, you have to work on your leg muscles and your lower leg muscles and the muscles in your arms, muscles in your upper arms and your shoulders and everything. You have to work everything. If you just work your chest, you'll pull your shoulders. Your muscles will get too strong and they'll start pulling your shoulders forward, and you'll get like this, and pretty soon you're going to get injured. It's happened to me before. Whenever I was in boot camp, I had what they call a muscular imbalance, and it hurt whenever I breathed. It was really, really hard to get over. So, in order to get in shape in a way that you won't get injured, there's only a couple options that you have. CrossFit is too expensive, and there's no CrossFit anywhere near where you are right now. The military programs aren't reliable. There just aren't enough of them, you know, that are actually written by military people. And you can't just rely on ROTC programs to get you into shape. You're going to have to do it yourself. Thankfully, Beachbody.com has a whole ladder of these. See, I went to CrossFit for about 3 months. It's a crazy gym. If Mom lets you on the computer, you can look it up and everything. And you can see that they do some pretty crazy stuff in there. And I did some pretty crazy stuff with them. So, CrossFit is a really good gym and everything. But people say that, people who've been to CrossFit say that the workout program Insanity is harder than CrossFit. CrossFit got started because the Marines were leaving their training to go over and start training with CrossFit because they got better results more quickly. CrossFit is very, very famous for being kind of a stepping stone to Special Forces. If you want to get in Special Forces, people say that you got to go CrossFit and you got to work out there for a while. So if Insanity is harder than CrossFit and gets you results that much quicker, then if you complete Insanity, then you can get into Special Forces. So here's the ladder. Here's how you'll have to climb and everything. I've given you 10-minute trainer, which is at the bottom of the ladder. So it goes a little bit like this. First, you'll do 10-minute trainer for 4 months. The first month, you'll do the first exercise on the calendar. The second month, you'll do the second exercise on the calendar. The third month, you'll do all 3 videos on the calendar. And then you'll switch to the other calendar. I've already sent a video explaining this to Mom and Frank, so they can help you out if you don't understand what I'm talking about here in this video. But you'll do the 10-minute trainer for about 4 months, and that'll just get you used to waking up early enough to do this and everything, and getting these workouts done every day. Then you're going to go with Power 90 for 3 months, and as soon as you get 2 months and a 10-minute trainer, let me know, and I'll get Power 90 for you. As soon as you go through Power 90 for 3 months, then you'll have to go through the Power 90 Master Class, and that's the stepping stone to P90X. After P90X, you'll be doing after Power 90 Master Class, you'll be doing P90X for another 3 months. Then after that, you can do P90X Plus for 3 months. Then you'll do the P90X one-on-one for about 9 months. After that, you can do P90X2. Then you do Insanity for 2 months. That's the 2-month program. And then Insanity the Asylum for 2 months. If you can complete Insanity, you're pretty much Special Forces shape. There's the Navy SEALs is pretty much the biggest Special Forces on the planet. They're the ones that are way, way, way up there. There's not too many Special Forces that can contend with the Navy SEALs. Well, the Navy SEALs have a couple of secrets. You might have seen Richard Machowicz on the show Future Weapons. He was a Navy SEAL for 10 years and a hand-to-hand combat instructor. He tells everybody in his book that one of the best ways to get prepared for Navy SEAL training is to take cold showers. So I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and get used to taking cold showers. I know it's going to be hard and everything, but the number one reason that people drop out of SEAL training is that they get cold. They're constantly cold. They're wet, they're running around, the wind gets to you, and they're cold. And you have to be covered in like the freezing ocean over and over and over again, the waves lapping up on you and covering you and everything, and you get all wet and sandy. I can show you all of the I can show you the whole documentary following that SEAL class through training, and they're cold. They're constantly cold. So if you can just get used to being cold, then you're that much closer to being a SEAL, to getting through SEAL training. If cold doesn't bother you, then you're going to be good at it. You're going to be able to get through SEAL training. So I would suggest that you start getting used to cold showers now. None of the if you are ready for SEAL training, then you can get through any of the other training. SEAL training is the hardest training on the planet for special forces. So if you can get prepared for SEAL training, then you can do anything. So if you get all the way up to Insanity, and you can do Insanity and Insanity the Asylum, then you're going to be in Special Forces shape. You're going to be in good shape. The three major reasons that people drop out of SEAL training is 1, they get cold, 2, they're not in good enough shape, and 3, they get injured. All of these programs that I just showed you, they work your muscles evenly. They work all of your muscles so that you'll get in good enough shape that you won't get injured. So if you just take cold showers and you start taking cold showers and getting used to them now, then you won't drop out because it's cold. You'll be in good enough shape, and you won't get injured because all your muscles be worked evenly. Everything will be nice and even, and you won't get injured. So if you can just do that, then you're in good shape to be in Special Forces. There's one book that's downstairs, and it's written by Stuart Smith. You might have seen Stuart Smith on a couple episodes of Fight Science. Stuart Smith was a Navy SEAL, and I think he was a Navy SEAL from anywhere from 10 to 15 years. I don't know much about his career, but he wrote a book, and I think it's called Stuart Smith's Guide to SEAL Training or something like that. And it's very, very famous in the Special Forces community because if you can pass it, you have a 95% higher success rate of getting into the Special Forces. That's way, way higher. If you can complete all of that stuff all the way up to Insanity the Asylum, then guess what? I can give you that book. And if you can do that book and you can pass it and you can go through that book, then you're literally going to be in shape to go into the Navy SEALs. And they'll let you into the Navy SEALs. The reason why a lot of people get a long wait into the military is that they want to do a normal job. The military is a guaranteed job and everything. They want that job. So instead of going and trying to apply to be a postal worker or something like that, they'll try to go be a postal worker in the military. So they put them on a wait. They'll make them wait 1.5 years sometimes longer than that. Sometimes they don't even get in. But if you want to go Special Forces, they'll let you in right away. But they're going to see whether or not you're tough enough. So if you can climb all the way to the top and do Insanity the Asylum, I'll hand you this book. And if you can get all the way through the book, you're going to be in shape to become a Navy SEAL. And you will be able to get through it. As long as you can get your mind right, as long as you can keep making straight A's, because in the Navy SEALs, that's what you gotta do. You have to excel, and you have to get used to doing what you don't want to do. So if you can keep making straight A's and get your attitude under control and everything, you're going to be able to become a Navy SEAL, and you're going to be able to do all those things that you want to do. The big reason that I want to help you out here is because Navy SEALs can do anything. Whenever a Navy SEAL leaves the military, they're always successful in anything they do. They never become a homeless veteran. They're always able to figure out a way to succeed in some way. And I want you to be able to do anything that you want to do. And that's what a Navy SEAL training will provide for you. You'll be able to do whatever you want to do after the military. So, even if you want to continue to stay into the military. So, if you take my present, if you take a 10-minute trainer and you start on it as soon as possible, and if you get into the second month of the program, if you've been doing it for 2 months, then call me up. Message me on Facebook or something, and I'll give you the next program. I'll give you Power 90. And then you can do that, and then I'll give you Power 90 Master Series. I'll keep giving you the next step in the program. I'll do everything that I can so that you can become a Special Forces person, that you can become a Navy SEAL or an Army Recon, or an Army Green Beret, Delta, Marine Recon, whatever you want to do. I'll make sure that you get there as long as you try on your end. So just do the 10-minute trainer, do as much as you can, keep climbing, and each time that you're about 2 months into the program, call me up and say, hey, I need the next step, and I'll give you the next step. And then you can just keep climbing all the way to the top. Pretty soon, you're going to be in SEAL shape. So, Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy that. I wasn't able to print out everything, so I'm going to have to send that to Mom and Frank for them to print out the calendars. Once you get the calendars, you can put on each day, if you've done it, you can put N up there. And if Joey and Alex want to get into it as well, they can put J and A. So if you've done like day 1, you would put N, and if they've done it too, they would put J and A. So it'd be NJA. And then the next day, if only 2 of you guys did it, then you would just put like N and J. And then you keep doing that until everybody has all 3 of their names on the calendar, the first calendar, 3 times. NJA, 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 which means that you've done it for 3 months. You've done all 3 workouts for 3 months. So it should be fun for you. It should be exciting. I know it's kind of girly to want to work out to a DVD, but it's fine. I've gotten used to it. I've been doing P90X for a little over a month now, so I've gotten used to it. And I know you can too. And if you just climb to the top, you can be Special Forces shape. You can join the Special Forces, and then you can teach me all of your tricks because it'll be way better than mine. So, Merry Christmas. I love you. Tell Joey and Alex that I love them too. But this is for you, so you can join the military, you can join the Special Forces and everything. I love you to death. Merry Christmas.